Charlie, a lot of people feel that the city of Vero Beach should not be in the power business any longer. How do you feel about this?
Well, first of all, Mary Beth, thank you for allowing me to be here and to answer these questions. That's an important question. It's very easy. If the city of Vero Beach cannot be competitive in the power business, it needs to be out of the power business. And frankly, there is a way to do that. I have a plan that will allow us to leave the power business without increasing taxes and can reduce your rate by up to 30%. Now, one would say, how can you possibly do such a thing? Here's the simple answer to a very complex question. What we have is the power plant is worth about $150 million. It's a pretty substantial amount of money. We owe about $60 million. What I suggest and what my plan is over a period, it'll take about a year, is to sell the power plant to Florida Power and Light, take the $150 million, pay off all of the debt, which is $60 million. That leaves us $90 million left. We can invest that $90 million in secure things like government bonds, and that will yield us the same amount of money that is now being transferred from the power plant to the general fund. So it will replace that amount, so it's not necessary to replace that amount with property taxes. And then we can lower everybody's rate to Florida Power and Light's rate, which is about 30% less than we're paying right now. Right now, we are losing $20 million a year in wealth in this community. That's what's leaving our community and going to Orlando that is not necessary.
And how about the regionalization idea with the water and sewer plant with the city?
Well, first of all, regionalization simply makes sense. And it is in the best interest of the residents of Vero Beach to allow regionalization. Now, there's a couple of steps that have to take place. The first is we've got to quit digging ourselves into a hole. The longer we go, the worse off we get. And the projections are that I've seen is that within 10 years, the city of Vero Beach resident could be paying as much as 3 times the rate that your neighbor in the county is paying. There's a lot of reasons for that, and we're going to have to make the transition so that it meets our environmental concerns, and obviously makes sense for because we have to pay off our debts, and we have to make it work. But the fact is that unless we do something right now, it is never going to get better. It is always going to get worse. Things get worse as it goes along, and we've got to do something about it right now. Now, the plan's complicated, but we can do it.
If you are elected to the Vero Beach City Council, how would you trim the budget?
Well, obviously the largest part of the budget is our employees. And I hate to have employees, especially unemployment in Indian River County right now is 15.3%. I want to point out that unemployment among city workers is 0%. So the city resident has felt the downturn of this economy a lot worse than our city employees have. But we need to start with employee benefits. The fact is that if you're a city of Vero Beach worker, or any government worker for that matter, you get paid about 35% more than your counterpart in the private sector. One government employee over his lifetime, if he begins work at the age of 25 and he passes away at the age of 88, will cost anywhere from $8.5 to $10 million. We simply cannot continue to do that. We need to appreciate our workers, we need to appreciate our employees, and we can't let it affect our lifestyle. Remember, the reason that we're here in Vero Beach is because Vero Beach is unique, and we can't allow these things to change our quality of life or the unique way we live here in Vero Beach. But the way to start trimming the budget, and the step one is the pension plan, is we have to change the way the pension plan is figured because it's very, very, very generous that no one else gets. And we've got to keep ourselves from giving some additional pension plans, like the idea of a health clinic. The idea of a health clinic is probably the single worst idea I've ever heard from any government at any level, except maybe the stimulus bill in Washington. But we've got to avoid we've got to avoid digging deeper into a hole, because that's what we're doing right now.
And how do you feel about the 3-minute rule that the City Council has enacted right now. Do you believe that they should continue with that, or would you?
No, I don't think the 3-minute rule is necessary. What you really need is someone can run a meeting appropriately. It's happened at the county where they don't have the 3-minute rule. If someone's being redundant or if they're being uncivil, you can handle that if you're a good chairman. The fact is that if somebody's misbehaving at the microphone, it's sort of like having a child with a tantrum. You just kind of, eventually they get tired, they stop.
Sometimes.
Send them to their room, and you know, there's no reason to stop. Norman Rockwell painted the picture, freedom of speech. And that guy's standing up in the middle of the freedom of speech with his program in his pocket. He gets to say his piece. And that's the way it should be here in Vero Beach.
Thank you very much. That's Charlie Wilson running for the Vero Beach City Council.
Thank you.